Welcome again to Sage, Synergetic Age, A New World Religion, Episode 131, SEEEC 55, February 24, 2022. Corporations, domains, and the prospects of a true democracy. Part 1 of 2 parts. Reference for this episode today is included. Links are provided in my transcript on my website, sagesynergeticage.com. Read the entire transcript for your research in this education experiment. Synergetics, religion, experiential, experimental, education complex, SEEEC. Some of us have become well versed in describing the synergetics models, conceptuality of closest packed equiradius, unit radius spheres. It goes from 4 spheres to show the topological characteristics of the resulting system, 6 vectors, 4 triangular openings, 4 vertexes. The triangular openings are empty windows. The 4 vertexes are also known as points. Over the years, I have composed and have uploaded my thought language experimenting with different domain names and websites. Presently, my website is sagesynergeticage.com, which is a new world religion that evolved to religion. I also recently started a YouTube channel that has not been formally named, but my name, Christina, is shown below a photo of me from summer 2021. The content throughout all these audio and video podcast presentations consistently articulates variously arranged sentences validating the synergetic models throughout this research project. In the process, my consciousness evolution's metaphysical intellect is communicating what I thus far understand in the conceptualization experience. This is as my lay perspective needs no authorized certification, no specialized formal education credentials, just observations of the reenacting articulations in the world and my synergetically referred reactions. It is with a purposeful objective to realize a true democracy without being hindered by the PRJWBCS, politics, religion, justice, war, belief complex schemes. Fortunately, it is the nature of human curiosity and intuition's inherent potential consciousness evolution to question the origin where something such as a concept or a premise of relative importance originated. Questions are asked. How the interactions between the relevant points of interest and intellect locating the information in question is unique to individual motivation and inquiry. When intellect learns of spheres correlative to the universal communications process, the mind of its curiosity continues to search for relevance. Geodesic spheres are relevant. Geodesic illustrations on the internet are readily available in synergetics thanks to physicist Robert W. Gray. The Synergetics table of contents can be found at rwgrayprojects.com. In addition, you can find synergetic models online, but the copyright prevents you from using the illustrations in your project. This is awkward, to say the least, because the model is the generalization, as generalized conceptioning is at the heart and mind of comprehending the conceptualization experience. Illustrations don't always speak for themselves, as articulations don't always adequately describe the conceptuality of the illustration. Usually, survival is not of initial concern regarding the geodesics of universe, but the truth that proves to be essential throughout the universal communications process is relative to survival at every turn and eventually motivates deeper curiosity. So the universal communications process, referentially to the most generalized conceptioning, may turn out to be where truth, love, beauty, symmetry, wisdom, and maximum economy of a true democracy is written as an acronym that also correlates to survival and conceptualizing closest packed unit radius spheres. The acronym TLBSWME, the acronym TLBSWME for truth, love, beauty, symmetry, wisdom, maximum economy is easily recollected. Correlating the conceptuality of events and the geometry of spheres in closest packing encourages further inquiry concerning much that was overlooked and dismissed altogether by education strategies that always play a pivotal role in the communications of thought and language. This is especially so when it concerns the most economic way of behaving relative to unity and self in universe. By omitting the truth of finite universe and its definite systems, educators place an unnecessary disadvantage and burden on our humanity. Inaccurate substitutions are used as the disadvantage includes misinformation and misguides the inquisitive mind by erroneous influence. The more the human mind's metaphysical intellect can observe about systemic thought's generalized conceptioning fields as a function of universe, the more knowledgeable it becomes. The knowledge of local systems in scenario universe develops toward increasingly advantaged survival. The omni-rationally informed observer is synergetically advantaged, referential to the conceptuality of universe systems. Such awareness will always be in respect to the individual's perspectives and manifesting a true democracy. To reiterate, some of us have become well versed in describing the synergetics model's conceptuality of closest packed equiradius, uniradius, unit radius spheres. It goes from 4 spheres to show the topological characteristics of the resulting system, 6 vectors, 4 triangular openings, 4 vertexes. The triangular openings are empty windows. The 4 vertexes are also known as points. Presently, we are exploring control. The concern relates to freedom. It ought to be freedom from whatever develops that can take away anyone's independent systemic thought while attempting to supplant self-initiative with otherness dependence, knowing that human thoughts are conceptually confined to system considerability and comprehension. Thinking more about what is going on definitively and perpetually concerns thought and language. thought, and action in the universal communications process. Discerning the difference between relevance and irrelevance is tantamount to cogitating reliably in respect to vector equilibrium. This seems to be especially important concerning what controls are subjectively irrelevant or relevant to the environment of thought as a synergetically informed individual, even though most of us barely understand the invisible to visible forces that are operating all around us. With a vector equilibrium in mind, human intellection's conceptualization experience becomes a cogently relevant local problem-solving function. It is on a differently coordinating scale than were we never to know of this geometric system's eternal patterning integrity. Anticipatory structuring reality's systemic thought is required to conceptualize a system. The vector equilibrium is a system. It is not a structure in its own right, and so to conceptualize its eternal patterning integrity, imagination's ability to formulate conceptually employs its metaphysical intellect to close cispac unit radius spheres. Involved in that conceptualization experience is the lag rate between apprehension and comprehension, as the mind of the conceiver must await the after image. Whatever is imagined and visualized, articulated from observation, constitutes the potential forms, geometry, and topology that become integral to the conceptual formulation's after image. This requires definitive clarity as to the origin of the configuration and a lag rate between apprehension and comprehension. Written text can be any curved line written and brain recorded as a memory may well be valid in the after image, but it is not necessarily explicitly relevant to the geodesics and topological constant relative abundance. Intellect has to be aware and apprised of such integrity patterns that are also eternally conserved, as energy is to assure human intellection of a natural resource. It continues to be with unfailing clarification that humans coexist, evolving beyond what any self-serving corporation assumes as its right to dismiss and discredit the individual just because the Supreme Court designated the corporation as a person, giving it the rights humans are protected by under the First and 14th Amendments of the U.S. Constitution. This is explained in Joel Bakan's book, The Corporation, the Pathological Pursuit of Profit and Power. The problem is that those individual persons, human beings, live and die. But the corporation as an individual entity can outlast the human lifetime, thereby rendering it a quasi-immortal status to control whatever serves the corporation's purpose, which must generate profits for its stockholders, regardless who among our humanity may suffer as a consequence. That millions of humans can be the stockholders of a corporation in no way, shape, or form has any inalienable right to displace to any degree of freedom the human individual. To be continued in part 2. Thank you.